we are on page 31, and we are on the last criteria, which is about community challenges, project benefits, and readiness. So this criterion has 3 parts that allows the applicant to do, in part A, tell the community story and summarize the need for the project. Keep in mind that statistics are not needed for this response. In part B, describe the project's benefits by improving the health and quality of life for the residents. In part B, make sure to address each type of benefit, which includes solutions to displacement, which is a Bond Act requirement. So these can be explained more in the technical assistance section. Sam, can we please go to page 67? Thank you, Sam. So here in your response, be sure to consider how the design of the park will improve each of the following conditions. So on page 67 and 68 are the conditions that you should address for your project. And this includes recreational conditions, social conditions. So essentially, and within each one, there are examples and descriptions of what we mean by these conditions. There's cultural conditions. That could be through performing arts such as dance. It could be in the form of public art, music, mosaics, or murals. Environmental conditions could be replacing blighted properties with green space. Any design techniques that can be used to improve the community's environment. There's also educational conditions. You can tell the history of an area through panels or public art. On page 68, there's one last one, and those are economic conditions. As Natalie mentioned before, criteria 5 on page 24, these can also lead to new career pathways. And then finally, the Bond Act requirement of advancing solutions to prevent displacement of residents within the area. So page 69 talks about that a response is not needed for part C. Just make sure the project can be completed and will remain open for public recreation for 30 years. The remaining application checklist items are designed to conclude this. So the box on page 69 reinforces that what you write in the criteria must be achieved by this project prior to final grant payment. Do not write about future phases. So with that, I'd also like to talk about, so this whole thing, I would also recommend that you use the lessons learned from round 3 as a type of note-taking resource. And this document can be found on our program website under technical assistance. So the genesis of this document came from project officers keeping a log of common issues that were found in round 3 applications. The outcome of which is the development of this 9-page technical assistance document that has 2 sections in it. The first section goes from pages 1 to 6 and is the application checklist review for all 15 checklist items, with each item having its own set of questions to ensure completeness. The second section is more narrowly focused on the project selection criteria, lessons learned, which has key reminders for segments of criteria 1 through 9 that a small percentage of round 3 applicants overlooked. We highly encourage you to review this document while you are doing your final checkover of your application prior to submitting it to our office online by December 14th, 2020. This document does not need to be submitted with your application. It's strictly just to ensure that you have not overlooked any segments of the project selection criteria or any of the checklist items.